This is Larry with Man Cave Mayhem. Today we're going to show you how to remove and replace a front tire on a 2009 Yamaha Majesty 400 scooter. So stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned.
All right, the tools you'll want for this is a 3/8 drive ratchet, a hex key, it's a number 6 hex key, 1/2 inch drive ratchet, a 14 hex key, a hex, whatever you want to call it. It's a hex key. Now let's get started. What I like to do is get this thing on the center stand, and I put a board under it for the center stand, as you can see right there. Boom, barely sitting on that center stand. I kind of rocked it onto that board. That'll allow this back end to come up with assistance from somebody else to lift that, or you need to weight the back end. Sometimes I'll sit something on the seat to hold that back end up to get that tire high enough to get it out. So the tire, you'll want that tire to come up so you can get it out once you get it disconnected. I'll probably end up putting another 2x4 under there. That's the easiest way for me. There's probably other ways to do it, but I found that to work easiest for me. So that's how we're gonna do it. All right, we're gonna start this video off with removing the beauty cap here. It's a little rubber grommet that fits in that. You can see there's where the large hex key goes. But we'll start, I don't know if you can see this little split seam here. That pinches that tight so it doesn't work its way loose when you're riding. So we want to get this first Allen loosened right under here. So that's going to require our 3/8 drive and our number 6 Allen key. So we'll get that started now. Now that we got that out, we're going to go ahead and start with this. So we're going to get the 1/2 inch drive wrench with number 14 Allen key, and we are going to get that taken off right now. Got my beautiful assistant. She's going to help hold that bike up while I take this tire off.
You're a jerk.
See? Say hi.
Hi.
It's her bike, so she does need it taken off. And down it comes. Okay, also be careful of this. This is your Speedo thing, so you want to get that out of the way so it doesn't get ruined. But basically now the tire's off. Now as I go to the tire shop, I kind of have this thing rested on a stand, and it's pretty stable. It doesn't look like it, but it's pretty stable. So we got this rested on the stand here. You just want to be careful. This thing looks like it's got a little step on it right there from the axle where it runs through. So it's kind of like a spacer. So the whole reason I'm taking this front tire in is because I was checking the air in the tires for some scooter trips that we've got planned. And watch this. That would have been tragic for my beautiful wife had we not check that. So just make sure you're always checking air in your tires. You can see the gap on that thing. That would have been a bad thing, especially on the front tire. So we're going to take that, go ahead and go get the valve stem replaced. We'll get back soon, like in the snap of a finger. When I took it into the shop, I removed this spacer just so the guys at the shop wouldn't lose it. And it actually goes on the non-brake side of the non-disc side of the front wheel. And before you do that, you kind of want to get in here and just check these bearings, make sure they're in good shape. And the bearings on this one are in pretty good shape, so they're actually in very good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and push this back in so that spacer goes right in there like that. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the forks here. I got them just kind of resting on this stand, but we're going to get this set up so I can go ahead and move this tire on. One thing you don't want to do is press the brakes on this thing when you have the wheel off, because then you'll pop the pads out. You don't want to do that. You could actually pop them out. But I'm gonna go to this. This is the Speedo Sensor right here. As you can see, it's got a little slot on it. That slot actually fits right there. So you want to make sure you get that groove right on the groove on the fork there when you put it back. This is kind of an integral part because you want your Speedo to work. I'm gonna actually pull this out and check the grease on it. And it's pretty good. I mean, I'm gonna add maybe a little bit of grease to that just to make sure that it has enough grease. So we're gonna do that now, and then we'll get ready to throw the wheel in. All right, so this axle is a little dirty. It needs, I need to wipe it down. So I'm just gonna wipe it down, just lightly put a little bit of grease on it, and just to make sure that it's, you know, clean and free of dust. That's all you want to kind of do, and just lightly grease it. So I got this thing precariously balanced. I got this pre-greased lightly, and I'm going to, with my wonderful camera woman here, I'm going to slide this shaft in. It's kind of a pain in the butt. You don't have the proper equipment, but you can do it with help from your wife.
Now I do.
We got the first side in here. Woo! With a little help from my wife. And now we're gonna go over to this side right here. You can see the speedometer. It's gonna slide right in.
Wait.
You kind of have to work it in here and make sure that that slips into the wheel. And then as you bring the wheel up, if you can see that, where that groove is, that's where that slot has to go. And now I'm gonna slide the axle through and start threading the axle. Not the easiest thing to do, but if you have help from another person, it's a doable thing. All right, so we got this lined up here, and you just got to make sure that that groove goes into the slot on the speedometer controller. I've got the bolt started through here on this side, so we're going to go ahead and slide that through and start threading the bolt. So with the axle in, you can see that groove right there, and that little slot fits in the groove. That's so the speedometer will work. So we're going to go ahead now. We're going to tighten this bolt down, and we're going to torque it to 40 foot-pounds. Once you hear that click, you know it's tight. Now with the pinch nut. All right, now we're going to take our number 6 hex, and we're going to replace this pinch bolt, and we're going to torque it to 14 foot-pounds. That pinch bolt is actually what helps hold that axle nut in. It's a safety feature there. So we're going to go ahead and put that in and get her torqued down. And that is how it's done, folks. Not least, I almost forgot. Put the little rubber stopper in. Makes it look pretty. If you haven't had a chance yet, hit that like button. Don't forget to share and subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button, that helps me. Hit the bell for notifications. All that, probably in the wrong order, but do it all. And just remember, I'm just a man in a cave causing mayhem. Thanks again for watching.